Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here and, following such great content and speakers already. Obviously, I have some big shoes to fill. Just echoing what Sherry was saying in the presentation before this one about being on a journey with Yammer, and that's really what I'm going to talk about today, is our Yammer journey with managers at Siemens Energy. So for us, we fundamentally believe that the role of a leader is to create a culture where everyone can bring ideas to the table, where credit is given, employees are recognized, and everyone has an opportunity to collaborate. And we really fundamentally believe that all of this can happen on Yammer. But what happens if your leaders aren't using Yammer? That's the challenge. So we were faced with a scenario where, maybe you're familiar with Siemens, but maybe you haven't heard of Siemens Energy. So we were actually carved out of the larger Siemens organization a year ago. And we faced a lot of challenges as a new company because we had all kinds of IT changes where we were moving from one tenant to another tenant. We were migrating from one Yammer to another Yammer. Employees had a lot of technical challenges, and managers did as well, in the creation of our new company and getting everyone onto Yammer. So for us in communications, we kind of put our heads together to think about how is it that we can improve the manager engagement on Yammer, because we really believe that when the managers are active on Yammer, the employees will follow. So our solution was targeted training for our leadership team. So first we created an agile squad that was comprised of all areas of our communications team. So that includes people like myself who sit within corporate communications, regional communicators, divisional communicators, business unit, an entire multidisciplinary team to look at putting together this training for our leaders. So the squad came together, we called ourselves the Yammer Squad, with a regular cadence of meetings with accountability of each week of goals and action items. And first we addressed the what. Okay, we need to promote Yammer with our leaders. It is our enterprise platform for communications and collaboration. So we definitely want to ensure that everybody knows that, especially the leadership team. And we wanted to also use Yammer to establish this open and honest, transparent communications culture. So the how, that's the what. The how is what we did as a squad to research, develop, test, and ultimately implement a comprehensive Yammer training kit. This included things like invitations, a pre-survey, a post-survey, training slides, Menti polls, scheduling, all kinds of details. We identified regional ambassadors who were really our key people in the region to lead the training. So we trained them as trainers, and then they trained their own leaders and managers on a regional basis. And we had regular checkpoints with our squad where we divided our work into phases, and we did a checkpoint at the end of phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, et cetera, to ensure that we were meeting our goals and staying on track. So for the Yammer training, we identified specific KPIs, key performance indicators, which were to increase Yammer knowledge by 10%. This is in the manager community, to increase Yammer usage by 10%, and to train 20% of our managers. And so I like to share this little quote here, whether you're part of the Commonwealth or a fan of the monarch or not, definitely the quote applies. It all has to do with training. You can do a lot if you're properly trained. I heard in one of the other sessions today about notifications. Some people don't like Yammer because they get too many notifications. They get all those emails. Well, by training the managers properly on how to set up their notifications, which emails they get, which they don't, we found that we could really address some of those key concerns. So it all comes down to training. And for the manager community, we sold the training as, do you want to build trust and engagement with your team? Do you want to recognize and motivate your employees? reduce email clutter, and inform teams across multiple time zones, locations, regions. So we really focused on the what's in it for me, the WIFM principle for the manager community. So here's the numbers. So we had zero budget, you know, not unusual these days. Communications, you know, we have lean groups, we have lean budgets as well, but the squad accepted the challenge. We had a core team of communicators, plus our regional ambassadors, our trainers, again, as I said, representing all areas of our communications team, so 24 in total, and that's actually 16% of our total communications community at Siemens Energy, so a good chunk of communicators. I was leading the team, and I can honestly say we had incredible engagement across the divisions, the regions, the communications function. And as a squad, we invested more than 200 hours to really develop something that was targeted for Siemens Energy managers, something that addressed our own Siemens Energy values, addressed our Siemens Energy leadership essentials, hard word to say. It is almost 8:30 p.m. here, so it's been a bit of a long day for me. I know long day for all of you guys too. So 200 plus hours invested in this program. And here's the numbers for the training session and around our KPIs. I do have to acknowledge that we fell short on some of our KPIs, but we also saw some added benefits that we hadn't really anticipated. So we had 35 sessions in the regions that you see on the slide there, 14 sessions in Europe, 9 in Germany, 8 in North America, 4 in the Middle East and Africa. And we're actually just now starting with our Asia Pacific and China sessions in December. So there will be more to come and that number will go up. And hopefully also our other KPIs will go up. We had 823 managers attend the training, which is only 14% of our manager community, so shy of our goal. But we did see a bonus that we saw an increase in requests to join the manager community, which is a private community. And that was great. You know, we could see direct results whenever we did a training that immediately following afterwards, we would get, you know, 10, 15, 20 requests to join the manager community, which is where we share information specifically for them, kind of like what Sherry was talking about with the principal community, the vice principal community, that we can give them a heads up about information that is coming so they can be prepared to address any questions or concerns that come up with their employees. So that was an unintended consequence, but definitely a positive one. From the pre and the post survey of pre-training and post-training, we were able to see that managers' knowledge of Yammer increased by 11% and their usage of Yammer increased by 8%. So again, a little shy of our KPIs, but we still have 2 big regions to come online, Asia Pacific and China. So I think those numbers will go up. And overall, the training itself was rated 86% positive by the attendees. So for us, we're now looking, going into our next phase, kind of what worked with the Yammer training, how well we engaged managers, and what didn't work. So definitely having a global agile squad representing all the areas of our communications community, that was a definite bonus. The fact that we had content developed specifically for the managers was another bonus. And we also have that content package now that we can repurpose for employees, and we do plan to do that. And we were able to highlight senior leaders as role models. And I'd like to tell a little anecdote here. So at the beginning of November, we had a big awards ceremony called the Passion for Energy Awards in Munich, and our executive board members were presenting, and our CEO was giving out the awards. And then after the awards ceremony, we had a little reception. We were only able to have like limited number of people because of COVID restrictions. But one of the winners who came from a different site, you know, actually said to the CEO, "I see you liking posts on Yammer. I see you commenting on Yammer." And this is something, you know, we had been working with the CEO on, that the more he is active, the more people see him commenting and liking, then that will have a multiplier effect. So completely unintended that this one particular award winner took the opportunity to highlight to the CEO how much his engagement meant to her as an employee on Yammer. So that was really nice. On the converse side, what didn't work, we definitely see that in our company, manager engagement varies across regions. We have incredibly high engagement of our management team in the Middle East, not so high here in North America where I am. I also think there's some refinements we need to make to our data analysis before and after the training. And developing quality training, you saw from the number of hours that we invested across the team, developing that training and a program definitely takes time, but definitely well worth it. So that's really all my slides that I had, but I'm happy to answer any questions. You can see my contact information here on the screen. I'm happy to connect with anybody via LinkedIn. And of course, I encourage everyone to join me in the discussion room after the official close of this session.